Hey, Shalom, Shalom, and stuff. So, it's by giving no praise to Yahweh, Shem, Yahshua, Bashem, Rakak, Dash, that belongs to the apostles of GMS and honesty, brothers doing the work in truth while sincerity. It's a quick one on, it says Trump, US locked and loaded for response to attack on Saudis. It says stemming from the attack on a Saudi oil field or processing plant, I forget which one, on 2 days ago. So that would have been Saturday, right? And things have come from this. Different people in the US government have said stuff, and yeah, we're just gonna see how it plays out. He says two Saudi oil processing facilities, right? It says Iran, basically saying that they're lying. We don't know what happened. They might have done, they might not have done. I don't know, right? But once again, these are the things we look forward to. These are the things that we like to see, because it just shows that we're heading in the right direction. Now, is this it? No. Because we know that certain prophecies must be fulfilled. We know that, for instance, the prophecy says, what does the prophecy say? The prophecy says in Jeremiah 49:20, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he taketh against Edom, and this purpose that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Right now, this sentence is important. This is referring to them Amalekites, right? Them so-called Jews and Gadarenes, right? They're the least of the flock that shall draw them out. Now we know this to mean that them, Gadarenes will do something crazy, something dumb, which is basically going to draw America into a much bigger war, right? It says, surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them, right? So that's one of the things that we look for. Right, another thing that just, is reported to have happened today is Iran seizes another oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz as Gulf crisis erupts, right? So we're going, once again, see what happens from this. But as I said before, these are the things we look for. It says Matthew 24, verse 3, it says, and he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came. So, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Right, so this is what the disciples were thinking about, right? These are the things that they wanted to know. Right, jump down to verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And this is what we're hearing here, right? Trump said, or was it his advisor, or one of them guys in the US government said, look, we're, locked and loaded to basically do something. Now we know that pursuing to, let me get it. Just bear with me. What's going on? There we go. What am I looking for? Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. Right. I'm reading from the top. Says, and the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Right. This is referencing Russia, modern day Russia. It says, and say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I'm against thee, right? Against thee because they're Edomites anyway, right? And the Lord ain't with Edomites, but that doesn't mean he ain't going to use them. Right, says, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine armies, horses and horsemen, all of them with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. Right, so the Lord, that first bit is talking about how the Lord is going to return Russia back into that Soviet a mentality, right? And you've been seeing that more and more over the last couple of years, where Russia is now stepping up and becoming the super, basically taking a heed of that superpower position that they have. Right, it says Persia, when that's playing, right, it's talking about Iran, right, Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Goma, which is modern day Turkey, right, and you see Russia doing business with Turkey, even to the point where Turkey is fobbing off the US, right? It says in all his bands, the house of Togama of the North Quarters, and all his bands and many people with thee, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them, right? And Russia is a guard unto, what do you call it, unto Iran. That's really ultimately why Iran can talk the shit that they talk, because Russia's a guard unto them. If that were not the case, America would have already done their business. America would have already Afghanistan them. America would have already Iraq to them, right? So I'll carry on in Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and of rumors of wars, and see that we be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right, and that's the thing. Although this is a important step, this isn't the end. Right, we still got the mark of the beast. We need to wait for. Well, first and foremost, we need to wait for them, gutter rats, to do something, right? And when they do something, that's when this war going to start. Also, you need the mark of the beast, right? And as opposed to I said, when they make that mark of the beast mandatory, that's when things are going to start moving quick, right? They're going to be, we expect there to be, a couple false flag attacks, right? Then they're going to try to implement that martial law. But the beauty of it is they only go and get so far, because the Lord said, when you're about to fill your belly, what is that? It says Job 20:23. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain upon him while he is eating. Right. So when he's, getting that new world order almost, right, the Lord is just going to take the kingdom from under his feet, right? This is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right, be your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. And that's talking about divert your funding for agriculture and start using it for war. So let the weak say, I am strong, which is why you're seeing the likes of, for instance, a skirmish between Pakistan and India that could become nuclear, right? But they're, little nations, but they've got nukes, right? It says, let the weak say I'm strong. And Iran's another example of that, right? It says, assemble yourselves, come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Did the cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat. Yahweh being the name of the Lord, Shaphat being the Hebrew word for judgment, right? So it's the valley of the Most High's judgment, right, which is in that Middle East region. So no, we don't want peace in the Middle East, right? It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in this sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come and get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. It says Sirach 39. It says, beat but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients, and be occupied in prophecies, right? Which is why we're watching these things and reporting in these things when it happens. Why? Because we're occupied in prophecies. Because these prophecies is how we know, how close we are towards the end. The Lord didn't But we don't know for sure. Even Yahweh Shah himself, he doesn't know when he's going to get the green light to come back. Right? But we were left some prophecies. We were left, this must happen, that must happen before before the the day, so that we can gauge the time. The scriptures say, measure thou the time diligently in itself. Right, and this is my last scripture, Mark 13:33. Take heed, watch and pray. Right, watch and pray so that you can be occupied in prophecies. Right, it says, for you know not when the time is. Right, which is the point. We don't know a certain date, but we've been left clues so that we know roughly, vaguely, how close we are. And when we know when that chip gets pushed, RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast spoken of in Revelations 13 and 16, right? When that's implemented, we know it's but a short time, before our law comes back, before we get delivered, and before this wicked kingdom gets destroyed, right? So as always, Lord's will you is edified. Until the next time, Shalom.